I stay humble, I ain't even boasting. I'm just here telling you facts. No more secret is gotta be spoken. We out here living a lie. We think when they say that we equal. So put your hands up in the sky. Represent for the chosen people. Yeah, we got love of it. I can see the fear in them when they look at it. I can understand it because it's their nature. They don't care God but concerned about some glaciers. They always want to justify, define themselves not guilty. Try so fucked up, I living in iniquity, people.
Shalom, 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 Christ. People, hey, shalom, 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 son of Chris. You know who it is. With the most today with me.
Solomon the Benjamite.
So, shalom, happy Sabbath, people.
Shalom, happy Sabbath.
Shalom, son of Christ. Shalom. We just had another general conversation.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We got that last hour, you know what I'm saying, hour and a half. Sabbath.
Yeah, Sabbath.
It's like one of them times you just gotta fight, stay in the spirit with this thing. But I'm going to go ahead and swing it to it, bro. We'll just ride out how we go.
All right. Shalom, nation of Israel. Hope all is well. Hope that you're keeping the Sabbath holy as the Most High God have commanded us to keep it. Hope you all are in good spirits so that we can rock out and get whatever message that the Most High God has chosen to give out. But you know, as being the chosen people, I'm trying to say this best I can. We the only people who's the chosen people who want to accept that we the chosen people. It's amazing. We be lost in this world. I'm thinking that just because other people some they serve God, but it's in a different language and a different name, that we all serving the same God. We're not serving the same God. But the Most High God only chose one nation of people to himself. So whether you like it or not. If you don't believe upon my words, just hopefully you believe upon his. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5.
Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5, and it reads, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Remember this, all spirits are of the Most High God. So before you was even in the womb to become flesh spiritually, your spirit, the Most High God already knew. So he knew that of the nation of Israel, he knew what spirits he was going to put us into. That's why he chose us. That's why he said, before you was in the belly, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I already knew thee. I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee to be a prophet unto the nations. But what we'll sit up there and do and say, hey man, hey rap man, he believe in Akali, whatever the man, you know what they call him. So he is chosen. No, he's not chosen. The Most High God only deal with one people upon this nation of earth. Everybody cannot be seeking the same God when the God of Israel already made a difference and a separation between his people and the other nation of people. I don't know why we can't understand it. Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 2. This can't be everybody upon the earth. Everybody don't serve the Most High God.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2. Deuteronomy 14 and 2. And it reads, For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. And the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all nations that are upon the earth.
I thought it was everybody though.
Thee.
He said above all the nations that are upon the earth. So how the hell do that make sense? How can everybody upon the nation of the earth be the children of God, be serving God? And how did he chose everybody when he said, out of everybody upon the nations of the earth, I chose you, O Israel, to be a peculiar treasure unto me, unto himself. What they keep forgetting is the Most High God gave the other nation idols to play with. But to the nation of Israel, we are his. But before we get there, we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 10. We'll back up that claim about, us being a peculiar people. Chapter 43 and verse
10. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 10. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 10. And it reads, You are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant, whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me.
Well, ain't that a mouth and ear for those who keep thinking that everybody got chosen by the Most High God? But he just clearly here that says, you, O nation of Israel, are my witnesses, said the Most High. And we are his servants. We came to serve the Most High God. That's why he has chosen us to come serve him. He said that ye may believe me, not all these other guys, and believe that because everybody else claims they so religious that they serve him. And understand that I am he. Before me, he said, before the Most High God, there was no God formed. He is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. But we got a problem. We want to give our blessings to everybody else. We want everybody to be included with the nation of Israel when they wasn't chosen. We are his chosen people, not everybody amongst the amongst the face of this earth. First Peter.
Let me,
all right.
Because there might be people who might say that neither one of those verses said Israel.
Okay.
So, read verse 14. But read verse 15 so they don't know.
All right, I got you. Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 15. I am the Lord, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King.
So that's possessive. That way, because you may have gainsayers and say, yeah, you went to these verses, but none of those verses said Israel. And they'll try to say that, inserting that. So we read 15 to give y'all context to show this is Israel.
Right. The Most High God only chose the nation of Israel. And let's see how special the nation of Israel was to the Most High God in 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. Because that's what people do. They come to here into the Bible and get a basic understanding and try to include everybody. If they set up and they had, when they set up and they became a rulership, they didn't include us. They excluded us. We're the only people who want to include everybody in our blessings.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. And it reads, But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
That's our problems. We can't. He brought us up out of the darkness so that we may serve him and understand that he hath chosen us. But we so blind that a lot of us are still stuck in darkness. That's why when you talk to your people, they want to talk about the man who worship and put on and go kiss a rock. He can also get into the kingdom because he also serving God. You got to show me what God said. Go around a rock and kiss it and make that your God. A Hindu with a dot on his forehead that do this Hindu and believe in their God, Siva and all that. How can you say they serve the same God? He didn't choose them. He already made it clear that these other nations, he even said, don't follow these people. But I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Before I get that, let's just get Romans 9 and 10. It's ridiculous.
Romans. Romans chapter 9, verse 10. Romans chapter 9, verse 10. And it reads, hold on.
You, man. You with the man.
Romans chapter 9, verse 10. And it reads, and not only this, but when Rebekah had, and not only this, but when Rebekah had also conceived by one, even by our father Isaac.
So it's giving you the people, Rebekah, who's a mother who's conceived, and our father Isaac, right? These straight 11.
For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that called it.
So you get mad at me and go say, who is to say who God chose? Only Israel? Well, I'm sorry. Because right here it just says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand. And it already told you who his elect was. And if you don't know it, this is Isaiah 45 and 4. It tells you who his elect is. That us, nation of Israel, might stand. Even before good and evil was done, the Most High God already chose who he loved.
Isaiah.
So
you ain't want that precept?
No, yes, sir.
Isaiah 45 and 4. Isaiah 45 and 4 and it reads, for Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me.
Right. The Most High God's election is us, the nation of Israel. We know you don't like it. It's okay. It's a hard pill to swallow because you want the white woman, the white man you love so much to get in. Even though his God don't even look like the God of the Bible. It looks like the God of his creation. That's the reason why God haven't chosen those people. And he chose the nation of Israel. But we have this distorted mind that we so damn lost. The only thing we can think of is, well, how in the world you say that? You can't. What are you just mad for? You should be happy. You should be glad that the Most High God have chosen your black ass out of everybody amongst the nation on the planet Earth. But the only thing you caught up in is that such and such can't get in. But there's a reason why you're so lost and caught up in it. It's because once your heritage is being removed from you, you're lost into all the other things of the idols of the other gods. And you went whoring after them. So now you're lost in that shit. You're damn fool now. You can't realize that God said, damn, you special to me. I made you a holy, peculiar treasure to me. Amongst everybody upon the face of the earth, but no, you want to include everybody. But we're going to see why that has happened. Let's go to Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people. Just the same, you can't even sit up there to the brother and show him the goodness of the Bible because he's going to argue with you. It might turn into a fight out that mother lover.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. For my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. As thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will forget thy children. I will also forget thy children.
So that's the thing. Our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Even if you bring the knowledge of God to them, the first thing they do is fight against the word of God. Why? It makes too much damn sense that you're chosen. Your inheritance has been taken away from you, and these people took crafty counsel to keep you lost and in the dark. But then the Most High God came and said, wait, hold on. I see the wickedness that's going upon the earth, so I'm going to choose pastors of my heart to feed you the knowledge. But because that pastor that he chose from his heart looked like your brethren, you reject that knowledge that he sent forth. So the Most High God said, that's cool. So don't act like you didn't get the word. And for that cause, I will also reject thee. Right. And then I will reject your children. And you wonder why you got so many problems with your kids amongst this earth. He rejected them too.
And for the record, that also goes into Ephesians and Shalom. But that also goes in Ephesians into the hatred for your brother, man. You hate the hatred for somebody who look like you because you won't like think about this. Someone that sits among us that looks like us, he gotta be absolutely perfect. He can't have no faults, he can't have no hard times, he can't struggle, he can't have nothing that's human. No type of human reaction. No, he got to be absolutely perfect and blameless for people to follow and respect him. And that's only when it comes to meet or brothers who look like you when they the leader, when they trying to bring something to you, when they trying to teach you. They got to be absolutely perfect because the first time they have a human reaction, a real life, something life happens to them, they tear them apart or they no longer respect them. But any other nation or people, you will follow them to the end of the earth, no matter how many mistakes they make.
Well, that's because they see Christ in them. They don't see Christ in them. They don't see Christ in you or even themselves. Even though Christ look like it, you look like God. It's crazy. But they don't believe that. It's heavy, man. Are you just going to put a scripture, bro?
Nah.
All right.
Shalom.
And what our people keep forgetting is this. You, like the brother, like he made the point. He said, because we look like you won't listen to us. But I bet you go take counsel from the other nations and put your trust in all their words. Let's see what Hosea 4 and 12 say.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 12. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 12. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, but the spirit of whoredoms have caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God.
That lack of knowledge has destroyed you. To see that somebody else amongst you might be more worthy of your own brethren. So that you'll think that no, God couldn't have chose us. How he gonna chose us? Like, how he gonna chose us? We black as hell. That's the problem. You don't go to your brothers and try to figure out the truth, which they coming to you with the word of God, not the word of my feelings and how I feel, and this is how things should be, and everybody should be included. No, that's not what we're gonna do. We're not here to teach you lies and scratch that lustful itch behind your ear. That's not what we're gonna do. What's gonna happen is we're gonna tell you the truth. But you don't seek the counsel of the wise. You seek after the counsel of the wicked, and you put your trust in their stocks and their staff. And then they come and tell you how they feel, and you run with that. It's because you went from serving the Most High God to go whoring to serve their gods. And the nation we went captive to. That's who you put the stock. That's who you put the stock on your stock in. So let's go to Psalm chapter 94 and verse 5. Because the nation we went into captive to made sure that you forget who you were and who we were as a people.
Psalms 94 and 5. Psalms 94 and 5. And reads, they break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thine heritage.
So they break in pieces thy people and afflict thy heritage. They inflict us Trojans. They break in pieces to make us forget who we are, so to make sure that we're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So that in that case, we can keep trying to include everybody else. Even though the Bible clearly tells you over and over that the Most High God has the people we love. The Most High God has chosen Israel. The Most High God, Christ has died for repentance and forgiveness of the sins of Israel. Not everybody. And it's sad. They done beat the hell out of you so bad that, hell no, I ain't gonna say we the chosen people. We're broken. We're broken people. And the medicine to fix us is right here in the Bible. But we'll reject that. But for sure. A lot of people will reject that with no problem. That's why, since they broke us, to make us believe into their lives, that's why we think the Most High God is for everybody except for us. That's not what the Most High God said. That's not what he intended. But let's read it. Let's see.
I'm gonna get what you call it real quick though, because that was heavy. Get Psalm 79 and 1.
All right. Psalms chapter, you said 79, right?
Yeah. Psalm 79 and 1.
All right. Psalms chapter 79 and verse 1. Psalms chapter 79 and verse 1. A psalm of Asaph. Oh God, the heathen are coming to thy heritage. I'm sorry, that was heavy. Oh God, the heathen are coming to thy inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps.
And they reduce it to rubble. Reduce it to rubble. The nations came in and they invaded the inheritance, and defiled the temples, and brought Jerusalem to rubble, man.
Right.
And I want to plug that in the back end of that song.
That was heavy. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it was true though. This is what they have done, so that we'll forget who we were. So that people can come in and steal our identity. So you can call everybody else the holy people of the Most High God. But see yourself as a Gentile when you was made more than that. But then when I tell you when you tell them who they is, they always act like they know who they are. So if you know who you was, then you'll know that the Most High God only chose one person. And he said he's the God of those people. Joel chapter 2 and verse 27. It's like our people don't understand English. We have to speak to them in a different language. Go out there and scream your ears off. Your people still won't get the message.
Joel 2 and 27. Joel chapter 2, verse 27, and it reads, Ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed.
Right then and there, I ain't the smartest person, but it didn't say that I was in the midst of everybody. It clearly said I was in the midst of Israel. and that I am your God. Not everybody's God, but I am your God, Israel. And you should never be ashamed. Why? Because they make us feel low today, that we're ashamed to be who we are. Good job. But that's the thing. So ashamed that you don't even want to take on your heritage that you was blessed with. What kind of shit is that? Did the Father writing you his will and leaving you everything? You say, hell no, I don't want that. This just can't be for me. No, dumbass, it is for you.
He's everybody's God.
That ain't what the scripture just said. It said he in the midst of it. And he's your God and none else. When these people have took this holy word from us, that's the witchcraft they have put up amongst us, and you see it amongst our people. It's the damage they severely inflicted into the minds of our people. That's what's going to keep a lot of our people seared with that mark upon their foreheads. Lord's will, a lot of them shake it off, but we know 2/3 have to die. But let's get back to where he wants us. Now let's go to Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 14. Sad saying, but it's the truth. Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 14.
Jeremiah 12 and 14. Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 14. And it reads, thus saith the Lord, against all my evil neighbors that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit, behold, I will pluck them out of their land and pluck out the house of Judah from among them.
So the Most High God showed you how possessive he is over his inheritance, the people he chose. Everybody he called them evil neighbors. He didn't say he was friends with them. He said that touches the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. He said he will pluck them out of that land. So that's right. If people get some of the fake Jews, they serve God, and we all try to get the one. No. He said he's going to pluck them out of that land and pluck out the house of Judah from among them. Why? Because he needs to separate us, because he didn't chose us to be together with everybody. We are to be severed, separated. We're holy people. But that's not what our brothers and sisters see today. They see that the person with a white, fairer skin than you, he's more holy than you. He got to be chosen for God. Look how he looks. Blue eyes, blonde hair. There's got to be a God. The fire to hear what that boy is. Over and over throughout the scripture, it tell you what the nations that he chose look like and what we look like. He made a difference. He told you, man. You should be happy about it. But since, you don't want to understand that, let's get it where he's been a little more harsh with you to make it understood. And with your brick head ass. Let's get 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54. Chapter 6.
St. Ezra 6 and 54.
Yes, sir.
St. Ezra chapter 6 and 54. It reads, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Oh man, that's a heavy word. Sound like you're separate again. He said, after these, Adam, who he put in the Garden of Eden first, whom thou hast made us to be ruler over the creatures who the Most High God made, to give them name, of him come we all, right? That's what most of us would like to think. And the people whom thou hast chosen, he made a difference.
That's
the
right.
People who has he chosen? I'm sorry everybody else, but he chosen us. I ain't trying to be cocky about it, but I damn sure should be. But I'm gonna be humble about it. But he has chosen us. Okay, we're gonna go. We're not gonna. Okay, yeah, read 55 through 56.
Verse 55.
Yes, sir.
And this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made it. And this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made us the world for our sakes.
Our sakes, not everybody's, for our sake.
As for the people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing,
Oh, my goodness.
but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them to a drop that falleth from a vessel.
So I'm sorry. I know y'all want to be mad at us for coming and tell y'all the truth, but it's not our fault that the Most High God said that as for the other people, which also come from Adam, every other nation, thou hast said they are nothing. They ain't is. Brother, I'm sorry. Most High God said they're nothing. But he compared them unto like spit. That's disgusting. I heard right now, if you spit on somebody, they'll lock your ass up for life. That's attempted murder. That's what he compared them to. And it's like in the abundance of them unto a drop that fall. Like a drop of water that fall out of a vessel, a bucket that's full of water. You're not gonna worry about that little drop that fell out of that big old bucket of water. You got much more water than that. They unimportant. I'm sorry, y'all want to get mad, but the Most High God chosen who He has chosen, and that's the nation of Israel. He loved us. Let's get to Joel 3 and verse 2.
So that
Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. It seems like we have to keep reminding our people that, hey man, this is our God.
Joel chapter.
Why should we have to share our God with everybody? That's all I wanted to say.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. And reads, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, and whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
The Most High God said, I will judge every other nation who had the hands and the dealing of my peoples to do the wrong, and will bring them down into the valley of judgment. And he will plead with them. The Most High God ain't coming down there to beg nobody. When he plead with them, it's going to be destruction for the wrong that he have done to his chosen people, for the wrong they have done to his chosen people. He said, with them, they're for my people and for my heritage, Israel. We're the Most High God's heritage. He chose us to be a heritage unto himself, whom they have, these nations have scattered us amongst. We've been scattered all throughout the nations. That's why he has said he's coming to stretch his arm back to gather us together. But the heathens right now are in our motherland, which is Jerusalem. And they parted amongst themselves and took the Most High God holy things in that city. They already took us and brought us over here. But we can't understand that we chosen when there's prophecies in the Bible that tell us who we are according to the scriptures. Deuteronomy 28 speaks the whole prophecy of what happened to us, but we can't say we're the chosen people because they want everybody to be included. The Most High God chose us, sorry, and gave them their gods to play with. That's just how special we is to them. It's heritage. But everybody else gave them their gods, their little idols they can go play with. That's who they bow down to. That's why they go around kissing rocks and stones and praying to a bitch who got 6 horns. Excuse my language. This is why. But we're still going to Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 30. See what God, see how you feel about that thing.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 30. Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 30. And reads, take heed to thyself. Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them after after they are destroyed from before thee. And thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise.
That's the problem. Our heritage has been removed from us, and we've been beaten down. We can't understand that the Most High God have chosen us. We go into following every other nation and following their gods, wondering how can we serve their gods when we have the most powerfulest God, the most holiest God, and mightiest God who sit upon the throne, who created everything. We can't give him his reference and say, that ain't Most High God, you chose us, man. We appreciate that. But slap him in the face by serving other gods who he made for the other nations to idolize. But we fall right into it. Wonder how can we serve their gods? See why, hot damn foolish ass people. They ain't get it together, man. You have been chosen, but you want to go serve another. Psalm chapter 96 and verse 5. Can't win with some folks, man.
Psalms 96, verse 5. Psalms 96 and verse 5. And it reads, for all the gods of the nations are idols.
Dang.
But the Lord made the heavens.
That's true. That's crazy. For all the gods of the nations are idols. But our God made the heavens.
That's heavy, man.
What happened, Scope?
That's heavy. Say, keep reading.
Oh no, Scope. I said for all the other guys. I mean, for all the guys of their nation, they're idols. Why you think they're Why you think they're allowed to go kiss rocks and go and make these images of things that never existed? To bow down to serve them. We can't go into that. That's idolatry. But our people's minds are so far gone from them that they fall into the idolatry. They fall in love with it that they forget the God who made them. Forget the God who chose them, who made everything upon the face of the earth. We're going to forget him to go serve some stinking ass other nation gods. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 11.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11. It reads, hath the nation changed their God, which are yet no gods? But my people changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
Ain't that a thing? These idol gods can't save your ass in a time of trouble.
Saw what happened to Egypt.
You're right.
The Lord destroyed our God destroyed every god that they believed in. He could have just destroyed Egypt in one walk with just one boom. But he had to do it big. He had to show them that everything that they worshiped was false. It was fake compared to him. That's why our God destroyed everything that they believed in. He did it strategically. He broke them down first, and then he took them out.
Right.
Because all they gods ain't nothing. But yet we change our glory. Meaning we will leave the laws, statutes, and commandments. We will leave God, our God, and follow after the things that profit us not.
Right.
The other nations, other gods. We simple as hell, man. And that's why I'm telling you, bro, you got me going now. You done teed me up. Let me get a little bit real quick. Let me get something real quick. So our people follow these people, they follow these other nations and follow after their gods, these other idols. Like and with that, let me get Psalms 14 and 1 real quick, because in the midst of that, they'll go and follow somebody else's other God instead of the law, statutes, and commandments. The way that the way that the Bible tells us to do it, they'll listen to other people with their religions and their ideologies and everything else, and then they'll go and get something and find out it's false, and then they'll say the whole Bible is fake, or they'll say our God ain't real or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then that's when they start saying God ain't real and stuff like that. Give me that Psalms 14 and 1.
Psalms chapter 14 and verse 1. Psalms chapter 14 and verse 1. And it reads, okay.
Come on with it, so.
All right. To the chief musician, a son of David, the fool have said in his heart, there is no God.
He said what? Who said this?
The fool have said in his heart, there is no God.
Nah, that's our people. That they be saying they don't believe in the Bible. They say that God ain't real, or they believe in all this other stuff. Not all of a sudden they one with nature, and they all this other, like look at the stars, the moon, all this foolishness. Not saying they worshiping, walk around rocks. They worshiping creations versus the Creator now. And most of them, that's when they qualify to be what we call deep dummies. You notice that they never have no real answers. You ask them questions, they give you these long. They go into long-winded speeches. They don't never answer questions. You be like, okay, so if God ain't real, then tell me who your God is. No. I'm gonna give you one. We said, well, explain to me, break it down, show me how is God a woman. This verse right here says this, that we read Exodus 15 and 3 to him. The Lord is a man of war. All right. So then we say, not show me something that shows me how God is a woman. Let me know how God is a woman. They'll, instead of them answering the question, they'll, well, see, and then when the prophecy is done, I'm saying, and then everything, like they go into all this soliloquy of everything else, but they give you no answers. The people, basically, what I'm trying to get to, just to make it break down that long-winded soliloquy, basically is it goes down to when you see these people who say there is no God, most of them they be deep dummies, deep dummies, and then they believe in something else like stars and talking about blending in with Earth and all this other foolishness and crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? That come from following other nations and following after heathens and following after other gods. And then when you finally find out whatever you've been following was a lie, now God ain't real. Right. But no, you really worship other idols. You want to be a Muslim, you want to be all these other things, whatever the case may be. Right? Watch me. Let's get some, because deep dummies. Wisdom of Solomon.
Oh my gosh.
And we're gonna show you you're not supposed to worship other gods. That's for the other nations.
Right.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, right? And then we're gonna do verse. Let's start at 1.
All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature.
Surely vain are all men by nature. So by nature, all men are vain. Go ahead.
Who are ignorant of God.
So by nature, all men are vain. Now imagine dealing with a Negro who don't know God, who don't believe in God, or who don't believe in these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know how much more ignorant he is. Think about how much more ignorant you would be had you not had these laws poured into you. Had you not known these laws, statutes, and commandments. Had you not known the real Most High God of Israel. Right. This is why you think about this when you talk to a deep dummy or somebody who worship idols. This is their mindset. We all vain by nature, but they don't actually. They super ignorant when it comes to God. Right. Now watch this. Read on.
And could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster.
Right. Watch this. Verse 2.
But deem.
So they don't consider the workmaster the Most High. All that's the real. Consider the works of the workmaster the real one, the Most High. But yet, this is what they do. Verse 2.
But deem either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars. Or the violet water. Or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world. They think that the stars govern the world. They think that all these things, they give power to look at the fire. Fire is such and such as a god, and it's got spirit and something. And then they'll talk about stars. The stars, when we nature, you know what I'm saying? The stars align everything, and you got a lot of stars aligned, they crazy as hell. Right. That's the stuff that they consider to be gods. They worship. That's why you don't worship the other nations. Remember how the Most High said the nations, all the other nations, gods are idols. This all the stuff that they worship. They worship all these other things. And what else? Verse 3. Verse 3. Damn. Right. Wisdom of Solomon. With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods.
They took these things to be gods. That's why you hear these Negroes, you hear these crazy Negroes, Egyptologists, astrologers, and all this stuff. The stars align, and all this foolish craziness.
Yeah.
He said they took these things to be gods. Some of them worship the water. Some of them worship the crocodiles and everything, statues and stone. They worship all these creations. But watch what the verse said. Go ahead.
Let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty has created them.
Our God created them. They worship in the creations. We worship the Creator. And that's the difference. You can't follow after them and worship their gods because their God is a creation. Our God is a creator. I swing it back to you, but that's just dealing with the deep dummies for a second and also at the same time staying on the topic.
Frying pan like that, so. Congratulations. Now, like the brother said, why wouldn't they understand this? Why can't their mind just fathom all these things? It's because, like you said, our people is just not only that. We lost his head. What we do is we go and try to hold on to everything but the word of the Most High God. You know, that sounds like, to me, it sounds like the lost ass people who, even though the truth is in your face, you're still going to be blind to it. It makes no sense. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29. Let's start with 28.
Deuteronomy 28 and 28. Deuteronomy 28, verse 28. And it reads, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt, okay.
No, go ahead.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in the darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled even evermore, and no man shall save thee.
And then these same people will wonder why, but come try to talk to you and ask you for advice why their life all out of whack. Well, let me tell you what the Lord said. He smite you with madness. This is why you believe that everybody shall be God's chosen people. This is why you should believe that the word of God is not true. This is why you should believe everything else in idols before you believe in the Most High God who created everything. He has smitten you with madness and blindness. Damn, you blind. Even though you can see, you still can't see. An astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday. Have you ever seen somebody all the lights on and everything, and they still feeling around the walls and shit like they blind, like it's dark? That's just like our people. The word is in front of you, shining like a bright light in the dark. You kick the light over and still start searching and filling on the walls. Well, good job, smart ass. You just knocked the light out. Right, it's right in your face, shining as bright as it can be. But we do know that our people always turn their back on the Most High God, and thou should not prosper in thy ways for that reason. Why? Because you won't chose the right. You won't serve the Most High God the right way. You won't chose the right God. He told you who he's the God of, and you would still say, "Nah, I don't believe that shit." Man wrote that. He the God of everybody. Sit your simple bacon eating ass down. Everything out of the Bible to them are a lie because they've been smiting with madness. But they can't see it. It's sad, man, because it's the things I be saying I have to deal with. And our people need to wake up and leave these other guys alone, or we're going to continue to stay lost. And the reason most of our people can't understand, I refuse to believe that the Most High God has chosen us, is because they are not wise. They don't have no understanding. They can't see. This word is too deep for them now. They want to be the most deepest dummies ever, but can't understand the most simplest things that's put in the word. that said for you. I mean, a baby can understand it, but you can't use a grown ass man or woman. You can't understand that. Like the word was written in another damn language. But let's go to Sirach chapter 33 and verse 2. Grown ass people don't make no damn sense. Sirach 33.
Sirach 33 and 2. Sirach 33:2. And it reads, a wise man hateth the law. A wise man hateth not the law. But he that is an hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm.
What do you say though?
A man of understanding trusteth in the law. And the law is faithful unto him as an oracle.
Man. They have no wisdom. They are not wise. This is why they're constantly through the scriptures called fools, because you can't understand it. That's why it says a wise man hated not the law. We're not when somebody bring this word to you and tell you these are the laws of the Most High God that you must keep, and you the holy people, this is why you must keep it. You know, Deuteronomy 10 and 12. You'll say, you know what? I need to get right. I need to get myself right. I have been taught wrong. Not the fool. Because just like we said, they're a hypocrite. I don't believe in God. I'm a non-denomination. That's a religion, dude. Non-denomination, that's a religion as well. It's labeled under religion.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because when you talk about talking to fools, right?
Yeah.
You notice that it never go anywhere.
Right.
And it just become an irksome ass conversation.
Right.
That's why get that scripture that the sister plugged up there. That's Sirach 21 and 16. It's talking about the conversations, listening to fools' conversations. Deep dummies. You see, that's why they all go together. Serving other guys and being a deep dummy. They all go together.
Right. Sirach chapter 21 and verse 16. Sirach chapter 21 and verse 16. The talking of a fool is like a burden in the way.
It's burdensome as hell. It's like you just like, well, shut up. Think about it, and I tie that into you trying to show this man who the real God is. You trying to tell this man who the real God is. He's steady trying to give you his ideology and what he thinking. The stars aligned, or why he worships this God, or I law this, or whatever the case may be, man. Or trying to compare to other. Just like, shut up, man. Just shut up. I'm trying to get to the point.
Right.
I'm here for you to teach us. Shut up.
Be quiet. Nothing you say sounds smart.
Nothing. But read on.
You're making my IQ drop.
Yes, everybody in here, I'm pissed off that you got to say as much as you had to say. Because everybody in here is now more stupider or 15 seconds dumber after listening to that shit you just said.
All right. I'm going to read the scripture, man. I'm going to read it. Whew. The talking of a fool is like a burden in the way, but grace shall be found in the lips of the wise.
But grace is found in the lips of the wise. Let me show you. You know what I said about talking to a fool, right? Go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 10, right?
All right.
I'm gonna get on. Ecclesiastes 10.
12.
I want 13.
All right, got you. Okay, got you. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 10 and verse 13. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness.
Right. The fool, as soon as a fool get to speak, the beginning of his words is foolishness.
And the end of his talk is mischievous madness.
Why?
Damn.
Why? Verse 14.
Verse 14. A fool also is full of words.
He won't shut up. He got everything. He got so much to say. Just keep on talking. He just keep talking. But guess what? He never does. Read on.
A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him.
Why? Because he don't answer nothing. He has no answers. So talking to him at the end, you're like, okay, so what was the?
That's heavy.
Like, what's the salute? Like, so what's the end to all of what you just said?
Right.
He ain't got no end to it. He's finna rap along some goddamn okay. He's just talking. He's stupid. He's just a fool. You're deep. Just shut up. It's stupid. It's like he's just a deep dummy. And that's why and you want to know why he's doing all that talking and all that babbling? Because he filibustering, because he wants you to serve his God that is no God. He's just babbling.
Right.
And you don't want to serve your God because your God actually tells, he got guidelines that tells us what to do. But
right.
Whatever. He rather worship the other God because the other God lets him live whatever he
do what he wants to do.
Bingo. Yeah.
Now, this was a beautiful class. And before I end it off, I just want to hit you one more scripture, and that's Exodus 20 and 3. Because I don't know what they don't understand, but you can't go. This is why the Most High God chose you to himself. This is why he said he don't want you following the other nations. Thou fool, thou who don't understand it's nothing.
Exodus
20 and 3.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
And that's simple as hell. Like, what more do you want from me? Like, come on. Like, what more do you want the Most High God? Like, how simple can he make this for you? It's just that simple. He said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. No, you cannot go serve another nation's God, because you're going to make that God before the God who has chosen your black ass and took your forefathers out of Egypt and gave you the promise to send his son to die for our sin. But you want to serve another God? It's the Lord's will that the message came out and it was heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, guys. We're approaching the hour mark, and
yes, sir.
I'm gonna go ahead and call this. So I pray that y'all took something from this. And with that, we pray.
Yes, sir.
We have y'all with us, and y'all still keeping yourselves in the spirits.
Lord's will.
On your spiritual appetites.
Let's get those spirits fed up.
So with that, we say shalom. Most High in Christ. Happy Sabbath.
Most High in Christ, and happy Sabbath to you all.
Happy Sabbath.
And may the Lord be with you.